I would like to introduce the President of the Republic of Croatia, Mrs. Kolinda Grabar Kitarović, to greet us. Madam President.
Distinguished participants, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear angels, I cannot tell you enough how happy I am to be here today and to have the opportunity to speak to you. I love the atmosphere in the audience, and I hope that you will bear with my speech, which will outline some of the policies, and hopefully it will not be too tiresome for you to listen to it. The fact that such a large and important conference is taking place in Zagreb is a great acknowledgement to all of our hosts, the Croatian Business Angels Network and the city of Zagreb. And again, the opportunity to address you today truly is a privilege for me. I once again thank Mr. Davorin Štetner, President of the Croatian Business Angels Network, both for his untiring work in strengthening Croatian entrepreneurship and for inviting me to speak here today. His energy is also most useful in his activities and actions as a member of my economic advisory team. I would also like to thank Ms. Candace Johnson, President of the European Business Angels Network, for the successful organization of this event. As a woman and president, having in mind the percentage of women still in management positions, I am truly happy that a woman is managing the European Network of Business Angels. I wish all of our guests from abroad a pleasant stay in Zagreb and hope they bring back fond memories of their stay here in Croatia. Considering the local and regional dimension of Business Angels activities, some regions have already developed specific actions to support the program of co-financing with Business Angels. I'm confident that this conference will enable an exchange of information and help learn from good practices in the financing of SMEs and ultimately lead to concrete measures. Also, I hope that this conference will encourage young, innovative projects to find their way to Business Angels and make them more visible for foreign investments. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to use this opportunity to address two topics related to today's event and to the topics of investment, startups, SMEs, modern technologies, and the economy in general. The first topic that I would like to address is the importance of new companies and new business endeavors in today's economy, and the position of business angels within this ecosystem. Furthermore, I want to outline the activities that Croatia has been undertaking in order to position itself as a preferred location for such businesses. Currently, we're living in the most exciting time in history with respect to the development of the economy, of private business, startups, and business models. New ideas and solutions, new ways of doing businesses are coming to the forefront. And yet, every day we're faced with new disruptors. Progress and change are so prominent that yesterday's disruptors are being disrupted even before they get their bearings and reach stability. To use just a simple example from the music industry, vinyl, cassettes, CDs, MP3s, streaming services. The product, media, and business model cycles are getting shorter and shorter. It is hard to predict how long the latest trend will last and what lies ahead. Companies are not prepared for these disruptions as before. A wave of the so-called Big Bang disruptions literally destroyed some of the old heavy hitters and brought forward some new ones. We feel that every day in our lives. This practice presents a threat to those who are at the top today and gives opportunities to those who are still in college or in their garages. This makes an extremely exciting time with a hint of chaos and unpredictability. But this chaos is only surface deep. It is possible to put it under control with the aim of reaping its benefits. It is clear that there is a need for a highly organized, dynamic, and flexible system. A system that will provide the groundwork and platform for new disruptors, leaders, trailblazers, and unicorns. Countries aiming at the leading positions in the global economy need to have this kind of system established and in operation. Some economies and governments have recognized this and are putting great emphasis on the ecosystems that foster innovation, development, new business models, and risk-taking. And I hope to see that in Croatia too. Angel investors are a crucial part of this much-needed system. EBAN, in particular, is the showcase of an initiative that aims at reaching and utilizing the synergy effect of a joint approach at the EU level. It gives us guidance about how we, as governments, should approach the development of new companies and business ventures. Croatia is ready and willing to do its part in establishing the Euro-wide startup ecosystem. We already have our success stories, with startups reaching global presence and success. If we want to continue to keep them in the future, we have to focus on continuous improvement on various levels. Let me just mention a few examples. First, our education system is already of high quality, but it needs to be more in tune with the needs of our businesses. Not only with the needs of the existing businesses, but also with the needs of the businesses of tomorrow. Second, we have front runners in a number of new industries in Croatia. It is up to us to further ensure that it is worthwhile for them to participate in mentoring and the development of new companies. Thirdly, we need to increase the involvement of every stakeholder in our tech and startup community, thus developing a robust and dynamic ecosystem where cooperation is the basis of its operation. And last but not least, we have to improve the quality and efficiency of our tech parks and institutions as support systems to young companies and investors alike. I am optimistic. Today, I can say that we're strongly moving towards a new structure and a new type of the economy in Croatia. Having reached stability and growth, the new government turned to further steps towards establishing a competitive business environment with a focus on high added value and skilled workforce. The upcoming tax reform will enable us to be more competitive in attaining and attracting the most productive and skilled workforce. Significant progress has also been made in the field of doing business, and more ambitious short-term goals have been set by the Ministry of the Economy. The same ministry has announced an aggressive attitude towards the removal of administrative barriers, promising an even more suitable and friendly business environment. There are just some of the examples demonstrating that Croatia is doing everything necessary in order to develop one of the strongest modern economies in Europe. And this is to let everyone know, including you today, that Croatia is open for business. It is open for companies looking for their next investment location. It is open for angel investors and venture capital funds that look for their new endeavors in companies to support. It is open for our domestic companies and startups to scale their business. It is open for our young workforce to stay here, to find jobs and settle here and not abroad. The topic of young, skilled workforce is crucial. It's crucial for Croatia, and it's crucial for all of our economies. Workforce availability today is our scarcest resource, upon which lays the development capacity of our economies. We have to strengthen our education system to provide us with a workforce for the future economy. On the other hand, however, we have to support the economy that will keep and engage this workforce. These two elements are interconnected, intertwined, and without any one element, we will only lose our youngest and brightest. The 3Cs initiative is an initiative aimed at the development of competitive economy based on cooperation. Digital economy and overall economic cooperation within this initiative are among its pillars. This was evident during the forum that we held in Dubrovnik last August with the prominent participation of EBAN, Crane, and angel investors from the participating countries. With stronger cooperation of angel investors from this initiative, we will work on reaching the EU cohesion goals, making our countries much more suitable and competent to compete and cooperate with those in the EU who are economically still more developed. The realization of this goal will strengthen the EU as a whole, which is today at a very sensitive point. We need to stand together more than ever before. Global competition is fierce, and we can clearly see that we need to be together in order to keep and even catch up with the leading positions of the new economy today. Ladies and gentlemen, as my second point today, I would like to use this podium to raise the issue of gender equality, especially in the field of the ICT industry, which is so overwhelmingly present in the activities of angel investors and venture capital funds. The lack of female workforce within the tech community and the STEM field in general is already well documented. It is a problem that is present worldwide and needs our full attention. Scientifically, all of the myths have been dispelled. The myth of female students not being as competent as male in STEM. The myth of female workers needing to put in much more extra work and efforts to objectively reach the same results as male. All the myths that exist in order to keep women in their place and their workplace. We need to discard these myths in practice as well, if we want to develop our economies to their full potential. As STEM today is the basis for the development in the most advanced economy, it is unwise and even foolish to use only half of our assets. Using only half of our capabilities, we can only reach halfway results. The situation for women may be getting even more challenging. I need to emphasize here in front of you that we have a paradox within the ICT industry and tech community. This most modern community today, which represents the cutting edge and our future, is in some aspects still retrograde with respect to the position of women. Testimony to this are harassments and aggressive activities towards women in this industry, ranging from college and various hacking communities to corporate environment. For instance, according to a recent study, 60% of the women working in the Silicon Valley experience unwanted sexual advances. This is extremely worrying at many levels. The tech industry is still overwhelmingly male-dominated, and the odds are still not in favor of reversing the situation. On the one hand, we're still witnessing a low entry rate of women in the IT industry. On the other, we can see a worrying attrition rate of women from the IT industry in their mid-career. Combined with the latest trends that I mentioned, this is an alarm to all of us that should the situation not improve, we will lose a large part of our development capacity. We can argue about and discuss the causes and roots of this problem. Is it due to our culture, habits, preconceptions, and a deeply ingrained consciousness or unconscious bias? Does it start from the upbringing with our families, at our schools, or is it developed at our workplace? What is the role of life-work balance? We should, however, act where we can and act now, at once, before this discussion has been resolved. All of us should individually do whatever we can to improve the situation, to effectively, in practice, level the playing field and ensure an unbiased approach to every individual. We don't only need to encourage our young girls from very young age to participate in the STEM fields and industries, but we also need to stop discouraging them from it. In this regard, I'm calling upon all of you present here today to approach your activities aware of this problem. I call upon all of us to do our part. Women don't need preferential terms and approach. All we need is equal approach and equal opportunities. Thank you. Be the example of best practices. Use your position of the most forward-looking parts of our economies to set a rule book of equality and an unbiased approach. I'm very pleased to say that I can witness that kind of unbiased and equal approach from our own angel investors from Crane. And I'm especially proud that I can call our organization a good example. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is a great pleasure to see you here in such a large number. Again, I welcome all of you to Zagreb and Croatia. I wish you a fruitful conference. I'm looking forward to hearing the conference conclusions, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you here to keep our young people in Croatia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. President, for this strong speech.